Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. If you're applying to medical school this year, then you're most probably thinking about the UCAT right now. This year it's been very different with COVID, the dates have changed, things are looking a bit confusing with the online format, with the in-person format. So I thought I'd make a 3-video series where I go through how you should choose the date for your UCAT, my own experience of the UCAT, well it was called the UCAT when I did it, and lastly, how to use the new features, including the Scratchpad, to try and get the best score you can. So today's video we're going to talk about the UCAT dates and how to choose when you want to sit the exam. A really important date to start off to talk about is the 1st of July. This is when the UCAT booking opens. It's very important that you write this down in your calendars, put it on your phone as a reminder, because once you worked out which date you want to sit the exam on the 1st of July when booking opens, you have to secure your desired date and time. Remember, all of the students who want to do the UCAT are sitting on edge right now waiting for that date. So the dates that you might want may get booked out very quickly. So it's important that you don't delay. As soon as it opens on the 1st of July, make sure you book your place so you can secure it. Also have in mind an alternative date just in case your first choice isn't available, so you can, without panicking, choose a second date, and most likely that should be available. So the next big question is, when do you want to do the exam? So testing dates this year are from the 3rd of August to the 1st of October. The actual answer is very simple, I could just tell you it, but I'd rather explain the thought process to help you also understand when the best time is to do the exam. So over the next few weeks you probably have Zoom classroom sessions, a personal statement to write, but also exams to prepare for, which will help determine your predicted grades for your medical school application. And lastly, it's your summer holiday, which you somehow will have to try and enjoy. One of these 4 things will have to be sacrificed, and unfortunately it is summer holidays, because I suggest for the UCAT you need a roughly 6-week period to prepare. 3 weeks of going through the questions in a relaxed manner to gain familiarity with them, and then 2 to 3 weeks of very intense revision where you really focus in on the timing, where you really start improving your technique, using the calculator, using the Scratchpad, and thus will allow you to score higher and higher whilst doing the questions in less and less time. So let's say we have a scenario of us booking the exam as early as we can, because ideally we want to get the exam out of the way so we can have as much of the summer holidays left to do other things. The thing is, the UCAT, once you sit it, it's a one-time test. The score you get, the time you sit it, will be the score that you have to use for that whole application cycle. Now, because I said roughly you want to have 6 weeks of preparation time, if you do want to book for the 3rd of August, given that now we're at the end of June practically, you will only have roughly 4 or 5 weeks to actually prepare for the exam. So if you are right now in a position where you can start dedicating time towards the UCAT, where you can start studying intensely for it in 1-2 weeks time, then maybe the 3rd of August is suitable for you. But if you're someone like me who takes a bit of time to switch from finishing school stuff to then moving on to the UCAT, some time to learn all the concepts, then some more time to start intensely applying what I've learned, then maybe booking for the first date may not be possible. Because remember, the score that you get will be the score that you have, and so it's really not worthwhile rushing to get it done early, getting a crap score, because then what happens is you have a whole year of medical applications ahead of you where you get rejections after rejections, because you could have got a score of 700, but because you didn't prepare as much, you got a score of 650. So the point here is, don't book too early if you're not too confident. Let's now talk about the other end of the spectrum, where we book near the later end of the exam period, near the 1st of October. For example's sake, we'll take September, mid-September. I wonder what starts in September. Oh wait, school. Especially now that we have COVID, a lot of your exams, particularly those important exams that will be used to predict your A-level grades, will be done in September. And so if you also have your UCAT exam in the middle of September, then what on earth do you revise for? Do you revise for those super duper important exams that will, hopefully get you predicted A stars? Or do you revise for another super important exam that will get you into medical school? On top of that, in around September, when you go back, your school will expect you to sort of hand in a first draft of your personal statement. It's usually at the beginning of September / the middle of September that the schools really start hawking on about, give us your drafts, we need to proof check it. When in fact the actual deadline for personal statements and for your medical school application is the middle of October. Schools generally start hassling you in the middle of September just to avoid those stragglers who completely forget about writing a personal statement. In September, you're going to have your exams that will be very important for your predicted grades, plus a personal statement to write. So clearly September, again, isn't ideal to sit a super important exam like the UCAT. So now we've talked about the extreme situation of booking too early or too late and the consequences of both of those, let's talk about the sweet spot, the middle of August plus or minus a few days. Now, this gives you enough time to revise thoroughly and get a good score, whilst also giving you enough time on the other side of the UCAT to still have, a few days of summer holiday to enjoy, enough time to polish up for your prediction exams when school starts, but also enough time to make a few more changes to your personal statement, such that it is ready to hand in to your school teachers for their first approval and proof checking. Although it's not ideal, not having much of a summer holiday, we're making the best of a situation and the time constraints that you have this year. Consider it a sacrifice, this 1 year of hard work and not having much of a summer holiday will be worthwhile, because the good predicted exam grades you'll get, the good UCAT score you'll get, the fantastic personal statement you'll write will mean that you have lots of medical offers coming in, which means the summer afterwards, after you finish your A-level exams or your IB exams, will be a very relaxing summer, because you know that you've got at least 2 offers from medical schools, 1 firm, 1 insurance medical school offer, and then that summer that you have before going to medical school will be one of the best summers ever. So just to summarise, don't leave it too late. Hopefully you understand my reasoning here. Book as soon as you can, as soon as the window opens to book on the 1st of July, and have a good idea of when you want to sit the exam. If you started revising already, then maybe you can get away with doing it early, but if you haven't yet started revising or even looked at the UCAT, then don't make the mistake of doing it too early or too late. Try and leave yourself 6 weeks of enough time to prepare, to do yourself justice. So hopefully this video was useful. In a few days' time, watch out for my video that's all about my experience of sitting the UCAT. And lastly, in a few days after that, we'll have a dedicated video about the Scratchpad and how you can use the Scratchpad to your advantage to get the best score possible. So as always, thank you so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you guys soon in the next video. Bye-bye.